Hi, empaths. Welcome back to this channel. Sending you lots of love and light, beautiful blessings. I'm hoping that the collective is thriving, shining, feeling great, and feeling blessed and feeling protected at this time. Today, we are talking about intention, and intention is absolutely everything. But before I get into intention, I want to revisit a topic that came up a couple of weeks ago. I was discussing ghosts and nightmares and night terrors and scary things, things that go bump in the night, that kind of stuff. And I actually had a couple of people ask me some questions after that video. So I just wanted to clarify a couple of things. So with regard to seeing ghosts, one person asked me, what are ghosts? What's the difference between ghosts and other spirits, right? And so ghosts are, generally speaking, the way I distinguish ghosts from spiritual beings that are part of your team, your protection team, your guidance team. Ghosts are beings that existed on the earth plane at one point as a human, who didn't cross over. Their crossover was not smooth. Perhaps they were murdered or tortured prior to death. Perhaps they died from disease. Maybe it was an untimely death. They weren't ready to go. They died in bitterness and anger and resentment. And so for whatever reason, they weren't able to cross over smoothly. Sometimes ghosts are also beings who are just confused and either didn't realize they died, maybe like a small child didn't realize they died, and they're confused about, why isn't mom and dad here anymore? Why do I see mom and dad, but I can't touch mom and dad? So sometimes you see ghosts because you might be a medium empath. So there's so many different types of empaths. And if you're a medium empath, then, part of your sacred work is helping souls cross over, helping your loved ones and the loved ones of others who may be confused souls cross over to the other dimension without fear. That could be part of your work. The ghosts and the spirits that tend to be scary and the spirits that people tend to see, let's say they do plant medicine or they do some kind of drug, but they don't treat it sacred, like they don't go into it in a sacred way. All the plant medicines are sacred. They're ancient wisdom embedded in the plants, and we can use them. But if we use them haphazardly just to party or just to numb or to avoid or escape reality, then there's going to be problems, because all of the plant medicines are actually, they're a beautiful gift from the divine to help us access what's hidden or buried in the subconscious so that we can extract those things from us, shed what we don't need, but also creatively show up in this world by tapping into the encoding that's within us and whatever's buried that would be useful for our mission assignments. So if you're not approaching plant medicine in a sacred way and you do it haphazardly, you may go into what's called the middle world. So there's a sacred underworld, there's a sacred upper world, and then there's the middle world. And middle world spirits are the ghosts. That's where the ghosts exist. And if you hear things walking around in your house or things breaking, but it's not like bringing you joy and excitement, it's bringing you fear and anxiety. Oftentimes you're encountering middle world spirits that have not crossed over successfully. I'm not going to get too much into that, but if you are a medium empath or you suspect that you're a medium empath, feel free to email me at empathhearthealing.com, and I can get you some resources that will really help you to understand your mediumship and get the training that you need that will be helpful for you to be able to do your work without any fear or anxiety. Also, if you are a shaman, or if you suspect that you're a shaman, or you come from a shamanic lineage, you may encounter all kinds of spiritual beings, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We don't have to be afraid, but we do want to be able to distinguish between those divine beings that are truly divine and are here to help, serve us and protect us, versus those beings that are maybe nefarious. Maybe they were nefarious in their human life, or maybe they did evil things, or maybe they're stuck in a karmic loop. I mean, there's all kinds of reasons why dark spirits, bad spirits, evil spirits exist. We don't have to be afraid of them. There are ways to protect ourselves. I've given you lots of different ways to protect your energy field and to call in your guardian protectors. But also remember, everything is energy, and the laws of the universe stand no matter what. So nobody can technically violate your free will unless you consent to it, open a door, or give darkness access to you. A lot of the times, people are oblivious to the ways that they open their portal, if you will, to nefarious, darker entities and energies and beings. But with practice and with spiritual education and integration of all that you're learning, and of course, always calling in your guides and your divine angels and protectors and your ancestors, you will be safe from all harm. So back to being an empath, if a medium empath, if you are a medium empath, there may be some souls that are around you that have messages to deliver to their loved ones, and they come to you before they cross over because they want you to deliver these messages of love. It's really a beautiful role to be a medium empath. I know people think that mediums are weird and scary and tap into the darkness. It's usually not a gift that we chose. It chose us. It's part of our soul path. And anything and everything can be offered in the highest light for the highest good of all in service to the divine. It just depends on whether you, the empath, are choosing to be in the light and move through the world from a pure heart structure. If you choose to move through the world from a pure heart structure, move to, through, from all the energies, all the experiences, all the opportunities that are gifted to you with pure heart, your life will be golden and you will help so many people and you'll fulfill your mission. So as a medium empath, you may go in and out of dimensions where people from the past exist. You may sometimes be here on the earth plane, and sometimes you may be in the middle spirit realm. And, you definitely want to get some training so you know what you're doing to help those others cross over, because it can be very scary if you're not protected and if you go in oblivious to what you're dealing with. Sometimes what you see in dreams, dear empaths, comes back with you energetically. Okay. So remember, when we're sleeping, the physical body is sleeping. It's a great experience for the cells and the organs to regenerate and to refresh, but the spirit and the subconscious don't sleep. So while you're sleeping, your spirit generally tends to traverse the universes or the quantum field. And sometimes in dream space, we go in, we astral project, or we bilocate, we go into other realms. And whether the dreams were positive or not so great, whether they were nightmares, it doesn't matter whether it was good, bad, ugly, weird, indifferent, whatever it was. When we do come back into our body before we wake up in the morning, sometimes we bring stuff back with us, debris, residue, ghosts, energetic frequencies that are lower vibration, entities. Sometimes we bring stuff back with us because the silver cord that it extends from your third chakra. It goes out, it's what connects us and keeps us connected to our body when we are floating out in dream world. Kind of like, think about astronauts. Think about like when they leave their spaceship, they may go out into there may be a pod that they go out into, or sometimes they're connected because they've got to work on satellites and things like that. So they're not still in the ship doing the work. They're outside, but they're connected, right? So our silver cord is like an umbilical cord. It's connected to our being, our physical being, but it allows us to go out into the energetic field and experience outside of the body. We always want to clean that cord, keep it clean and pristine, because as we come back in, sometimes if you haven't cleaned your cord on a regular basis, you bring other things in with you. Okay. So just trying to help you understand ghosts and darker spirits and energetics entities, why they're still, around or lingering, even though you're in the light. Now, ghosts are different from your spirit guides. Ghosts or darker spirits are generally lost, confused, angry, bitter, resentful beings, okay, that are no longer in a physical body, but that are still hovering in your energetic field or the vicinity, and that needs to be cleared from your space, okay? So we can escort energies into the other realms if they choose to go willingly. But whether they choose to go willingly or not, we are not required to keep ghosts in our field. Okay, you don't need them sucking the life out of you. A lot of the time, they'll try to live vicariously through you, haunt your house, literally haunt your temple, and because they don't want to cross over. So if you're dealing with that type of thing, then your space needs to be cleared, your energy field needs to be cleared, because that's going to hinder your sacred work. And quite frankly, we don't have time for that. We have a sacred job to do on this planet, and we do not have time to be dealing with entities, energies, demonic, none of that crap. We don't have time for it. And so bring in your guardian protectors, call them in every day, and do your sacred work unhindered. We don't have time for energy vampires that are humans, and we don't have time for, demons and darkness. And I wish I could say that everything is sunshine and rainbows. It's not. There's people putting curses out, there's witches, there's warlocks. And I'm not saying all witches are bad, because, like I said, any being that has magic or has spiritual gifts can be in the light serving the divine. A witch can absolutely love God, creator, and divine, and serve the divine. Okay? The magic isn't what makes a person evil. And your lineage or your ancestry or the way you learned to cultivate your spiritual gifts isn't what makes a person evil. It's intention, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Also, spiritual guides and divine beings feel lighter than demons and dark entities and ghosts. Your spiritual protectors, your angels, your ancestors, there's going to be a peaceful energy. You'll feel it usually in your heart space, in your solar plexus, in your, sacral chakra. It's very light and warm and tingly and beautiful. You feel safe. You feel good. You don't feel scared. Now, sometimes when you're not used to interacting with divine spiritual beings that are invisible, you may experience fear because it's new to you, but it's not creepy, crawly, ugly, like it wants to hurt you. That's a very different feeling. Your spirit guides may feel different. The hairs on the back of your neck may stand up. You may recognize that there's a presence with you, but it doesn't feel like it wants to eat you alive. Okay? Know the difference. So the vibration and energy of a light being is filled with love, and the light feels supportive and healing. So in all of this, stay protected. Always, always bring in your divine protectors in every single experience that you have. Anytime you're doing service work, anytime you're going into meditation, anytime you're doing anything with crystals or sage, anytime you're doing anything spiritual, always bring in the divine guardians and protectors before you do that work, to make sure that nothing that shouldn't be there, gets in there. Also, even just on a regular daily basis, it's a good practice to bring in your guardian protectors. I call them in every morning when I wake up, and I call them in every night before I go to sleep, just so that I am always protected. And I truly always feel protected, even though I know that there are times when there's energy around that's unsafe or not benevolent, it doesn't touch me. It stays far, far away from me. It cannot get into my energy field. It cannot get very close to me because my protection detail is on point. And I'm so excited to talk to you a little bit later about your protection, your ancestors, how much they love you. So always bring in your divine protectors before you do any sacred work, and just make it a habit to do it several times a day. Just reinforce your protection so that anytime you're in meditation or when you go to sleep at night and you dream, you don't bring back anything with you that shouldn't be in your field after dreaming or astral traveling. I certainly hope this makes sense and that it's a blessing to you. I hope that brings clarity to those of you who asked me some questions about the lessons 2 weeks ago, or I think it was the Q&A 2 weeks ago. All right. So now on for today's topic. Intention is so important, and intention is everything. You know, what you intend manifests, dear empath. What you think about shows up in your experience, and what you expect from the universe activates that particular thing in your life. What you want also wants you. So make sure that your intentions are pure and pristine. We could say that, you know, you've heard the saying, what you reap is what you sow. And there's also the law of divine compensation, the divine spiritual law that you will be compensated for every action. You know, there's that law, for every action, there's a reaction, right? But in spiritual law, in the spirit realm, there is a law of compensation. You are compensated for what you give, what you offer, your service work. It may come in the form of financial blessings and abundance. It could be health. It could be wellness. It could be friendships. It could be the job of your dreams, or it could be traveling all over the world. It could be your brand new car, or a beautiful pet. It could be the backyard of your dreams. I mean, the possibilities are infinite in terms of how the universe rewards you and compensates you. But compensation is, what is that word? Commiserate? I can never say that word. It's equal to what you bring, what you're bringing vibrationally, what the frequency that you're showing up with is what the universe is going to match your energy. And so what you put out into the universe, dear empath, is what you get back. So your intentions are so important, and karma is real. So if you can live a clean life, a pure life, if you can, you know, be a person of your word, if you can keep your commitments and tell the truth and live in the light and live from the heart and intend no evil towards anyone, any living being, if you can move through the world with purity. I'm not saying you have to be perfect. We're human. We experience human emotions. We can get irritated or aggravated or annoyed or frustrated, but you can be those things and have those experiences and still have a pure heart structure where from the purity of your heart, you intend no evil towards anyone. You are creating constantly. So practice intentional living. And what do I mean by that? I've talked to you about this before. Intentional eating, intentional spending, be intentional with your physical fitness and your health and your finances. Be intentional in your relationships. Every area of your life, be intentional. And what does that mean? Being intentional means being prepared for life by being purposeful with all of your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Instead of living a haphazard life where you just let whatever fly out of your mouth and you let whatever thoughts hang out in your mind space, you know, and you just do whatever. No, be intentional. Be diligent about who comes into your field. Be selective about who gets to share space with you, share time with you, share your body. Be very intentional. Be decisive. Be intentional so that your life is golden, so that your life is the reflection of a series of beautiful, positive choices and pure heart intentions that align with the divine source, creation, creator of everything, and your soul divine plan and master blueprint. So, for example, let's say that my intention is to eat well. And let's say I make the declaration, I am eating well so that I can maintain health and wellness. Well, then I should probably meal plan, right? And I want to be diligent about where I eat and what foods I put into my body. I have to be intentional. If my goal is to be healthy, I can't just haphazardly go about life. I have to be very, very diligent and responsible. If I want to save money so that I can take a month-long vacation early next year or next summer, then I have to spend less. I have to be intentional about what I'm saying I want to do. It's not enough to just say, oh, I hope one day, or maybe I'll do this. If you want to be a master manifester, you have to be intentional and you have to say what you mean and mean what you say and put your money where your mouth is. All right. If I say that I am, increasing my positivity, right? I want to be a more positive, upbeat person. Then I need to judge less. I need to gossip less. I need to practice gratitude. And maybe sometimes I need to be silent. I can't say I want to be a more positive person if I'm not backing my statement up with energy. And that is my intention. Energy is your intention. The energy that supports whatever you're doing is your intention. Okay? Otherwise, you're just talking out of the side of your mouth. If you are not backing up your words and your actions and your prayers and your meditations with intentional energy practices, then you're not, the universe won't be able to take you seriously because you're not matching what you're saying with action and intention. Now, your ancestors are watching. They are watching and they are with you. And let me tell you something, dear beautiful empaths, your ancestors don't play when it comes to you. They are not okay with lower vibe beings messing with you, affecting your money, hurting you, creating problems in your life. If you call on your ancestors, they will match you very quickly. There are some divine beings in the universe that will come very fast to your rescue and your assistance because they really love you unconditionally, your benevolent ancestors. Your lineage is always your first mission. So if you call on the ancestors, they will come in and support you because they want to protect the family line, the bloodline. Your ancestors are not happy seeing you be used or abused, and they will put a stop to this type of behavior immediately and even aggressively if you call on them. So the different facets of the divine operate differently, and I'm not going to sit here and act like I know how they all operate, but I know that the angelics are their energy is very sweet and very lovely and very beautiful. They will put a stop to nefarious beings and energies. They will come in and protect us, but it's done in a very beautiful, light way. And with the ancestors, it can be downright aggressive. They do not play. They love you unconditionally. You are an extension of them. The torch has been passed to you. You are carrying the torch in this life, and they are not playing when it comes to you. So when you call on your ancestors to alleviate a situation or correct a situation or to support you, just know you are divinely supported very, very quickly. And so when you intend to align with your soul plan, that heals your lineage and it activates your ancestral birthright. Live with intention in your prayers and your meditations. Call on your ancestors, and from the purity of your heart and with the purity of intent, decide to honor the ancestors and the purity of your lineage by carrying the torch and completing whatever tasks and assignments were gifted by the divine to your family lineage that have not been completed yet. Sometimes you're clearing incredible karma on behalf of your ancestors. So of course they're going to come through and protect you. All right. And so finally, dear beautiful empaths, some of you are earth angels. Some of you are empath earth angels. You are vibrating so high and your light is shining so brightly. You move through the world very differently than other humans, and even differently than other empaths. There's a light, there's a healing essence, there's an energy that's very, very beautiful and very, very healing, and people love to be in your energy field. You have an energy signature, earth angel empaths, that is palpable, and your essence heals many plants, animals, humans, the environment. Intend to align with the divine plan of your life, dear empath earth angels. Do this on a daily basis. Intend to embody all of the energy gifted to you for service in the world. And use that energy to share your light in a very pristine, magnificent, beautiful way. Intend this. And as you choose to show up as light in every situation, the light will be with you and it will be experienced. Choose to be a blessing in every situation, dear empath earth angels. Choose to be an ambassador of light, a living illustration of the love of Creator. Choose to honor oneness in every situation. Choose to celebrate your soul essence in every situation. And you, dear, beautiful empath earth angels, will change the course of this earth with your love and your light and your purity. So, dear empaths, all of you of the Empath Collective, those of you that are swirling with love and light, and those of you that are intending to live with the purity of intent from the heart space, may you be blessed, may you be surrounded with light and protection, may you be gifted every single light code, every single blessing, every single energy, all abundance required for you to fulfill your soul mission on this earth plane. May you always be seen, known, guided, protected. May you always feel loved. May you always feel encapsulated in the divine light, which is your birthright. Blessings, dear empaths. These are the messages that I have for you today and this week. Until next time, be blessed.